Welcome to your first episode of Books and Blankets with Rose. I am kidding, I'm not a content creator, but I do like talking about books. So let's talk about June. I binged Brandon Massey in June. I did read two books that were not Brandon Massey, but we're going to start out with what I did read by him. I was introduced to him through someone in the Facebook group. Girl, thank you so much. The first book I read was The Quiet Ones, Black Cult. Sisters separated after their mom was brutally murdered. One sister becomes an investigative journalist. The other one ends up in a black cult. How often do we get to read about black cults? Exactly. Brandon's imagination. Like, I would start a podcast just to talk to him to understand how he comes up with these plots. The plot twist in this, like, blew my mind. Um, you have to read it. Father, yeah, you gotta read it. After that, I read Nana. This one came to me highly recommended. Everyone who reads Brandon Massey, who has read through his catalog, told me I have to read Nana. That book was wild. And it shows you how blinded we are by love because the daughter was adopted. Um, she was adopted by the lady who raised her mom. Her mom kind of just up and dipped, left her to be raised by the lady. The lady died. The mom popped up at the funeral. She said she wants to get to know her daughter and her grandkids. The husband and the mother-in-law say something's off about the lady, but the daughter just wants to know her mom so bad. Daughter starts getting sicker and sicker and sicker, but her mom starts getting more beautiful. Like she's aging in reverse. Like wrinkles gone, gray hair gone. She's thriving as her daughter is sick, like literally dying in front of everybody's eyes. Plot twist is crazy. If I talk too much, I'm gonna give it away. You gotta read it. Then I read Frenzied. Frenzied is that would have been a good book to read like during the height of the pandemic when we were on lockdown because it's this city. Well, basically, it's a community, but it's like a city inside of a city. They have like their own banks, grocery stores, park, all these other things. It's a gated community, affluent neighborhood. The developer, wealthy, you know the type. But then everybody starts getting sick. It's like an outbreak of something, but they don't know what the something is. CDC comes in and it just keeps getting crazier. It's making the people violent. They're flipping out. They're either very obsessive compulsive or they're violent or they start out one way and end another. Don't want to give too much away, but it was a good read. I really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed the twists and turns. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but it was a good read and I enjoyed seeing something like that about us, if that makes sense. Good intentions. Nate, we still got beef because you don't listen. A lot of that could have been avoided if you would have listened to a black woman. I digress. However, no good deed goes unpunished. Nate runs into an old friend from when he was a kid. He starts having all these things tugging at his heartstrings because he feels responsible. My bad. I was talking about good intentions. Yeah. So, Nate feels guilty about something that happened to his friend when they were younger. He feels like it was his fault. So it kind of shows you how guilt clouds your judgment, especially when you're carrying guilt that isn't yours. He wants to do right because they took two different paths in life. His friend was really smart growing up. Everyone assumed he would be the most successful, but life was not kind to him. So Nate is kind of like, dang, I feel bad. Let me help him get his footing and get him back on the right track. His girlfriend is kind of like, well, his fiance is kind of like, hey, babe, I feel like you're doing too much. Like you knew him when you were 10. We're grown. This ain't the same person. But Nate not trying to hear it. Friend wants revenge. Nate thinking the friend just having a hard life. Baby, it gets crazy in the ending, the plot twist. One thing Brandon can do is write a plot twist. Now, I thought I didn't have a favorite, but Dark Corner did it for me. Black vampires in a small town. Um, this was so well written. Like I feel like this needs to. I don't generally want books to become movies or Netflix series, but I would watch this. Like it was so well written. It's one of his longer works. The Kindle Unlimited version was 530 pages, but it was worth every page turn. I want to say I read it in one sitting. Excuse me, one sitting. I may be wrong. But when I tell you I thoroughly enjoyed it from the concept of the vampires, it's not like the regular vampire things you're watching. It kind of plays on like y'all thinking garlic and cross is gonna get us up out of here. Oh, it's a lot more than that. And it plays into like some family history. Like I don't know. I just feel like it was very good. Like it was straight up black vampires, black history. It was a good read. go get it. Like I don't even want to go into detail. If you like vampires, you like black folks, go get Dark Corner. The Other Brother, that one was really good. The plot twist, it did something to me because I was like, dang, whole time. But The Other Brother, um, obviously the title is what it is. Dad, they're a very well off, well to do family. Dad had a side baby. Um, Nobody knew about it. Dad basically like was like, can't do it. Want to keep my family. Y'all stay over there. The brother decides he wants revenge on dad for abandoning him because the other brother and his mom had a hard life. He was in and out of jail. His mom was brutally murdered. Dad ain't really show up for him, so he's angry. Pops up, meets his brother. They look so much alike. But if you have siblings, you know genetics are crazy. So it's no denying that they're brothers. Basically he comes back and he's telling them like, hey, I just want to meet my family. I just want to know my family. However, what ends up happening is he wants my bad. As I was saying, he wants revenge. He comes in and he stirs up chaos and confusion among his family, among his brother and his brother's fiance, and then it just keeps getting weirder and crazier. And then there's a secret on top of a secret. And baby, when it comes out, your jaw is gonna drop. You're gonna want to talk to Brandon. Like I would start a podcast just to ask Brandon where his brain goes with some of this. Then I've read Vicious. I really enjoyed this. They're on a road trip. There's a stalker. Um, it's a lot of stuff. It's not a super long read. It was 256 pages, but it was worth it. Um, don't really have a lot to get into with it. Fast paced. Um, Black stalker, serial killer. Little paranormal type of situation going on. I don't know if paranormal is the right word to use, but you get my gist, right? That one was really good. I felt like I enjoyed all of them. The Landlord, that one was crazy. This one came highly recommended as well. Family moves into a new neighborhood. They get a beautiful home. I think it was 5 bedrooms, finished basement, all this other stuff, but it was a steal. So the husband kind of like, this is too good to be true, but everything is checking out. Then all of a sudden, they start getting calls and messages from like the landlord's authorized agent, and then the landlord start hiring the husband to do tasks for him. Tasks keep getting crazier and crazier. The one day they wake up and they get the copy of the lease. The lease ain't nothing like they signed. Like the landlord telling them you can't work from home, you can't have nobody up in here, you can't have no gatherings, you can't have no parties, and somehow the landlord always knows what they're doing and he's one step ahead of them. Crazy as heck. And when you get to the ending, you're gonna be like, what? I will say I wish the ending was longer, but that's me being selfish because it was so well written. I would have liked to know more detail about the ending and what happened afterwards. But it wrapped itself up. It was good. It didn't leave any loose ends. Last one I read was The Host. So The Host is more of a short story. Couple going through a hard time. They decide to do a little, a little getaway to try to reconcile. However, they end up in some kind of like almost like a game show. Insanity. And again, I absolutely love this because we often don't get stories like this involving us. So like the person doing it black, the family black, they're going through like basically the Airbnb they rented is live streaming and it's giving them all of these things to do and it's kind of like survival of the fittest. Let's see which one of you two makes it through the night. But yeah, that's my wrap up with Brandon Massey. The other two books I've read, Discipline by Mark Avery. Man, listen, I love that book and I'm ready for some more. I need Mark to go ahead and start dropping them books. And I've read a short story, Mr. Dixon by Lynette King. I'll cover that one as well, but I wanted to go over my Brandon Massey thing. Now, hear me out. I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to stitch this together,